good morning, Rebels. Happy Thursday. We've got over the hump of the week and we're heading towards the weekend. Today, the title of my live was Good Vibrations, and I wanted to follow on the theme of self-care from last week, and to jump on and talk about energy and recharging. Now, maybe not what you would imagine, so I'm not suggesting you go off and book yourself a holiday. I'm recognising that for many of you, we're heading towards the half-term holidays anyway, but recognising that we can easily get tied up in that 9 to 5 hustle and bustle, and any side hustles we've got going on come to that. And actually what can happen is that we miss out on the creativity and spontaneity that's there within us, really to shine, that keeps us energized really and enables us to unleash our magic on the world. And I was all too aware that I kind of really ebbed and flowed with kind of energy when I was in corporate world. And so for me, was it a case of good food vibrations all the time? Or it's sometimes, you know, how low can you go? So I had a bit of a combo going on, which is today for sure. I want to kind of offer some self-care suggestions to sort of follow on from last week, really some mini adventures to raise that vibe of yours. So how we feel and our energy levels are so key to how we think, feel and behave, and then the decisions that we make. And then that indecision can come about, be it personal, professional. And I wonder if you can identify with the key things that, excuse me, drain you or drain your energy in your corporate working life. Do you really, excuse me, notice when those energy levels take a dip? And when you do notice that, what do you do? And do you do, if anything, to raise those good vibrations, to give you that uplift and that real energy boost that you need? And actually, if you choose to do so, corporate world can give you just that, the good vibrations, I mean, when you're running at a higher vibration of frequency, doing something that you really want to do. So what's the key to doing that? And what I think is so key and powerful to notice is what drains your energy, and to really identify with what gets you into that space. You know, what's going on for you? How do you feel? What sets you off in terms of, if you like, a chain reaction of emotions and behavior? And then a top tip, when you acknowledge that this is happening to yourself, you know, thinking about, well, what does my soul crave right now? What do I do right now to be kind to myself, to really step out of that sort of draining space? Now, I do get it, if it crops up in the corporate world, you know, day to day, you can't just walk out the door. But you can plan to make the energetic shift. So that might be getting outside over lunchtime, maybe getting out in nature, into a park, kind of thinking about what you might do when you get home, when you kind of make the space, you know, maybe after, you know, being with the kids and putting the kids to bed. And it's really enabling that self-care tune to make itself heard, and checking it out and noticing it, and really offering yourself some self-love to really energize that battery of yours. And it is so important, because if that battery, the energy is drained, your mind can go off on a bit of a rampage again, and you know the story and the pattern from previous lives. So before I kind of share some things you can do to get into an energetic space, thinking about today, what you notice about your energy levels from listening to today's live, and what can you do from a place of self-love to acknowledge that the battery is drained and you need to charge it to get those good vibrations again. And really make a note, maybe on the train, coming back off the train, some of the things that you like to do, and notice when you kind of can shift from that sort of draining to that energetic space. It is about shifting perspective, energy, and taking small steps that can make a real difference to, you know, all our outlooks. And shifting into that space of energetic possibilities takes us from that place of, you know, kind of scarcity into a space of abundance. So really some simple things that I wanted to share today, and you might think that sounds kind of really quite simple, but they're quite easy to do. So maybe when you're coming home from work, take a different route home from work, or maybe swap your tube trip for a bus, you know, something like that. Maybe listen to some new music, maybe a new band, a new singer, you know, something on Spotify, whatever you'd like to do. Maybe start a conversation with somebody new. Maybe if you're checking into Starbucks or Nero's, go somewhere different on your lunch break. It might be a case of making time for the lunch break as well. Maybe try out a new food, try out, I don't know, sushi instead of, your regular sandwich. Maybe think about a wardrobe change or a hairstyle change. Maybe at home, with the kids, if you've got them, be that child again and get a board game out and let the competitiveness begin. Maybe switch your, daily latte to a cappuccino or an Earl Grey to a green tea. I often do it, put some music on loud volume, really dance around, shift your energy. Try out an adrenaline activity, which is I like to do to kind of unleash that inner rebel of yours. Maybe try out, Amazon Audible for size or Netflix. Find a new blog or something new to read, new exercise class. I don't know, ditch the yoga for Zumba, whatever takes your fancy. Find a new TED Talk if you're into TED Talks, and watch it. Or track back in time and do something that you really loved to do as a teenager. Or holidays somewhere different. I always like to think about holidays and where I'm going to go next. Or maybe find and catch a live performance. It could be a comedy, an opera, a musical, whatever takes your fancy. So have a think about those things today about, where is your energy currently in your corporate life, and how you can kind of shift that energy from a draining, a sort of a scarcity space to an abundant space. Before I check out, and I'm going to put it in the comments, is I came across this week a great kind of quote, these things that kind of they put on kind of chalkboards, which was sort of 12 steps of self-care, and it really struck a chord with me, so I hope it helps you as well, about being you and being authentic. So have a read in the comments and see if it strikes a chord. So I'm going to check out today as you're heading towards the weekend. Have a great weekend when you get there, and if you're heading to half term as well, have a great half term too, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye for now.